Don't look now, folks, but I've been told, assured, that this is where it gets good. Heavensward, Part 1. Owing to schemes in the shadows of Ul'dah, the signs of the seventh dawn have been scattered, and the Warrior of Light has been forced to flee north. Though granted shelter by Lord Orshfall, the heroes must press on to Ishgard. What trials await in this reclusive nation, locked in a never-ending struggle with dragons? Dunno. Why don't we learn? Don't worry, there's going to be an awful lot of evil Pope. Enough to go around, I think. Coming to Ishgard. Thought we should go up to Camp Dragonhead to start, but I didn't want to start on the incredibly loud organ music. Guess we'll just have to deal with it now instead. There's my boy. Sing along, Erwin. That's your number they're playing. Where are we going exactly? What? Huh? Where's our quest objective? Is immediately to the east here. It must be Orshfall, right? Why for you are not on my screen proper, my friend? Orshfall? No? Oh, it's the small council chamber, of course. Our secret rendezvous spot. Let me in, gatekeep. Greetings, shall I show you inside, into the intercessory with us? Alphino and Tataru. No matter how long it takes, I have faith we'll find the others. With Lady Aguirre's shinobi, Urianger's intelligence, and my versatility, there's nothing we cannot do. Alphino, the time for action has come, and Alphino knows what he must do. Peaceful. Hardly looks at all like a vengeful dragon could swing through here and trample the place flat. Oh, nice. And there's your new voice actor. I don't like it as much.
So long as we have these specious accusations hanging over us, we will struggle to achieve anything.
I think I like the more mature voice a little better. I generally would prefer Alphino be an adult.
Tataru proposed. I will return to Ul'dah and set things right.
It's just kind of weird to have a permanent child in your story.
Pray, do not be so hasty, Master Alphino.
Lord Orshfall.
They're showing off their chops here. They want to let us know it's an all-new cast.
Full well do I understand your desire to clear your name.
Actually, not sure if Orshfall is a new actor
But now
or
is
not.
not the time for drastic action.
Isn't it?
You yet have allies upon whom you can rely. There is no need to act alone.
Why would we change what's been working great so far? As far as I can tell, an ally is mostly someone you manipulate into sending us supplies.
Yes. Yes, of course. Pray forgive my impatience.
Certainly.
I bring tidings. Count Edmond has decreed that the three of you be taken in as wards of House Fortin.
I'm a little old
Under
for
our
that, don't you
patronage,
think?
You shall be granted access to the city proper.
Oh my, we're gonna see Ishgard, are we?
Pray, consider our manor your new headquarters, from which you may gather information and plan how best to proceed. Needless to say, should any of your missing allies be found, as I am certain they shall, they will of course be welcome to join you there.
Optimal. I love it when my allies have a place to sleep. But, let's get moving on that, why don't we? This is not the biggest bang to start things out on, is it?
On behalf of my fellows, I humbly accept your offer of hospitality.
Thank you, Alphino. I am physiologically unable to speak for
The Count
myself.
is a good man and just. He will treat you with the kindness and respect that a hero and dear friend deserves.
Great. I mean, I hate to be neglected. You know how we are.
Together.
Boy, your
There
mouth
we shall
didn't
carry
animate on
the
that last
Scion's
line.
legacy. There we shall begin anew.
What is the Scion's legacy exactly? I guess we have taken down a very large number of primals. So, you know, god killing is very much in the cards. That's a new quest accepted sound, too. They say the winds can be rather fierce on the steps of faith. Be sure to wrap up before we go. Not at all the circumstances under which I'd hope to visit Ishgard for the first time, but so be it. Oshfon, I must go on ahead and speak with the Count. Fear not, however, everything has been arranged. The sentries at the gates of judgment have been informed of our decision. You need but state your names, and they will allow you to pass. My manservant shall be waiting for you at the city gates, ready to escort you to our manor, where we shall meet again. Until then... Cool. Let's speak with the Temple Knight gate guard at the gates of judgment. Take me out of here. Shall we capture our approach? This gate is in a state of disrepair. I guess they have been somewhat under attack lately, haven't they? So fair enough, I won't criticize their housekeeping. It certainly looks toppled. Or is that like a weird... Oh, this is a telescope. But they must be operating on something other than visible light waves. Surely, nay, I'll not deny it. Without your skill and fortitude, the city would now be ash. Would that more of your adventuring brethren possessed such qualities. Though, Anne, you served us well, adventurer. The Temple Knights would have been hard-pressed indeed to turn back the Horde alone. Mayhap 'tis time I return to the practice yard. Conversation is an indulgence unbecoming the protectors of Ishgard. Never shall I drop my guard, for Dravanians and unbelievers rest not in their connivance. That's very true. Your sort of semi-imagined enemy. I mean, they're a real enemy, but... Malsalan, nothing else to say. Talk to me, Gateguard. Wards of Heavenswardward. Oh yes, you may pass. I guess it's probably safe to use our name with these folks because we did personally save all of their lives at the Battle of this gate recently, right? Hey, this is what I'm looking for in a start. Yeah.
So they came, at a friend's behest.
Yes. Not sure how I feel about this song, though.
Heroes once celebrated as saviors of Eorzea, brought low through treachery, their names blackened with royal blood.
The accusation stuck, huh?
With memories of the lost and dreams of redemption, with hope yet in their hearts, they came.
Yeah. Hope right until after we came. Then just shame and confusion. Alright, let's see yet another noisy city where we can't fly around to make our lives easier. Not feeling super well this evening, so if I'm even...
Ishgard,
Ooh,
shining city on the
liking the
mountain,
colors here. I'm gonna turn on my
overlooking the
weird...
dominion of Kurthus.
Ooh, vivid.
A great and proud nation, devoted to Halone, the Fury, ruled by Thordan VII, Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church.
That HDR setting on the monitor continues to just be
The
wild.
last bastion of the faith, her walls ever bristling with the sworn swords and spears of her 4 high houses. A land that after 1,000 years of war had forgotten what it was to be at peace.
Nature's largest apples, available now in Ishgard Poverty Town.
Through gates long closed, the warrior of light and his companions passed, entering at last a city whose history was written in blood. In the midst of the
That's
dragon
interesting.
song
The
war,
HDR setting actually looks a lot more like the
3 weary
preview.
travelers whose arrival would set in motion great change.
Tataru is considerably redder than she is in the
Though
preview.
none knew then how great.
Not yet, but yeah. The Memoirs of Count Edmond de Forton, Heavensward. So we're getting messages from the goddamn future. This is not even an omniscient narrator, this is an in-universe text. Powerful stuff. Yeah, why don't we immediately set about revoluting this place, because it is madness the way they behave. Oh, it's really dark. House Forton manservant. Greetings, Master Erwin. On behalf of House Forton, I bid you welcome to Ishgard. My lord humbly requests your presence at his residence in the Pillars. If you would all come with me. Sure. It is nighttime, but it's actually too dark for me to, like, see the city ahead of me, so I gotta turn that shit back off. There we go. Can see everything, it's all much grayer now. A shame that I can't have it both ways. So where are we going? Sugalfont outside Forton Manor in the Pillars. Now we could just teleport up there, because our boost came with all of these unlocks that we could ever have wanted. But let's walk and see the city of Ishgard from ground level. Saint Renet's Reform, and I thought it said Reform, which would have been a cooler name. Then again, I don't think that this church has ever known reform of any kind. Haloni, right, is who they regard. Their quarrelsome goddess. I believe that's a lady goddess? I believe so. A lady goddess. Okay, so how the fuck do I get over there? Round over this bridge? These railings could be higher. For a fucking abyssal plummet like that, these railings could definitely be higher than half the height of the shortest race in the realms. The, Tatarus, of course, don't count. Tall on the inside, you know. Hey, you're looking snazzy. Let's give her a cheer. Many statues to what looked to me to be Faram Knights. The Dark Souls references, I don't know, maybe there's... there have been a few, of course. There was the crestfallen merchant Fate. Greetings, sir, and welcome to Forton Manor. Is it just me, or is the air up here different? You can almost smell the wealth and power. Gods, it's making me feel faint. To look upon the splendor of these heights, one would little suspect the ruin wrought by the wyverns below. The warrior of light and his brave companions walking the streets of Ishgard at last. What a glorious sight. I cannot tell you how long I've waited for this day. Allow me to present you my family home, Forton Manor. I should like nothing more than to show you around, but everyone is gathered to receive you. Come, my friends, introductions must be made. Do. Please get me introduced.
My lord, I have returned with the Scions.
Betrayal number 2, daggers in the back.
I hope your journey was not too taxing.
The domens drop from the ceiling and put blades in our skulls. Developing an entire expansion pack was just kind of too much work, so we ended your story early, for your sake.
As wards of House Forton, you shall be afforded every courtesy. My home is your home.
Why are you, as a Forton, not a comedy Frenchman?
My companions and I are deeply honored, Count Forton.
Fucking Alphino
The honor
always
is
speaking
mine,
for us.
Master Alphino. Consider it an expression of our gratitude for your service to Ishgard.
Maybe he's a comedy Frenchman in a really understated way. Consider.
Forgive me, my lord, but are you not concerned? To accept foreign guests at such a juncture, especially ones with our reputation.
Mayhap we should have come in under assumed names.
Do not worry yourself on my account. 'Tis true that Ishgard's first thought has ever been the war effort, hence the closing of our borders. Yet it is in troubled times most of all that men should seek allies, don't you think?
Well, I know certainly of a mind with that. Look at his large adult
Granted, my
sons.
decision will have raised eyebrows in the vault and in the halls of the other high houses.
Well,
But so
they're
long as you
eyebrow
continue with your
raisers
altruistic
born.
endeavors, I doubt my honored peers will feel moved to voice their concerns.
You're sure this seems like a very backbitey society
is
where
naught
everybody's
here.
looking for a reason to
Though
burn
our
their
numbers
neighbor
are
at the
much
stake?
reduced, we are no less determined to carry on our work.
There was honestly only one of us who was a frontliner anyway, and he's
Full
doing
glamour
fine.
indeed. But before you return to your labors, why not take a tour of the city?
Sure, I'd love to
It
see
would
the
do well, I think, to
sights.
acquaint yourselves with your new surroundings. After all, you may be here for some time.
I think we're definitely going to want to do the class quests for this expansion, at least 2 of them. I don't really care about the machinist, in the short term at least. But the Dark Knight, definitely, we've already got that one primed. House Fortune Manservant, it is an honor to have you with us, Master Erwin. Emanelian, Emanelaine, Emanayan. They'll be whispering about you soon if they aren't already the mysterious guests of House Fortune or some such. Greetings, Scion, and welcome. We are honored by your presence. Artoire. House Fortune Steward. Greetings, Master Erwin. How may I be of assistance? What do you do here? Me? Why, I'm but a humble steward sworn to House Fortune. I doubt you wish to hear the minutiae of my duties. Simply put, at the behest of my lord the Count, I manage household affairs. I've served at his pleasure for more than 50 years, and by the Fury's grace, I shall serve for 50 more. You're an old man, Duels didn't really live that long. Tell me about House Fortune. The origins of House Fortune can be traced back to King Thornton and his Knights 12. Ours was one of the 4 founding houses of Ishgard. Accordingly, our interests extend far beyond the walls of the city proper. Camp Dragonhead, for instance, is our responsibility. As for the family, you've met, of course, my lord, Count Edmond de Fortin, who is the head of our house. His 2 large adult sons, my lords Artoirel and Emanalain, are next in line. May the Fury watch over and keep them from harm. As for those sworn to House Fortin, in addition to knights, squires, and infantry, more than 100 craftsmen, retainers, and other servants possessed of notable skills are pledged to our service. Given our strong position, one might expect us to have no truck with foreign merchants and sellswords, but nothing could be further from the truth. I should think that my lord the Count was quite clear on this point, but it was our hope that you and your allies would, by your deeds, help us convince the other high houses of the wisdom in opening the gates of judgment to all, among other things. More than anything else, though, I suspect he saw in you potential. Tell me about Ishgard. More than 1,000 years ago, Haloni appeared before King Thornton I and bade him lead his people to the Promised Land, to the lands we now call home. Nothing says Promised Land like boundless, fertile, trackless wastes of snow. And so the king and his knights 12 did as was commanded. They came to Kurthus to found a great kingdom in the Fury's name. But the great worm Nidhogg would not have it so. With hatred in his heart, Nidhogg sought out King Thornton. In the ensuing battle, the king and half his knights were slain, but his son Haldreth rallied the others and drove back the foul beast. Thus did the war between our peoples begin, the war between dragons and man. For 1,000 years, Ishgard has stood against the horde, and not once were our defenses breached, until the day Lady Iceheart's allies shattered our wards on the steps of faith. Though the wyverns were slain before they could breach our defenses here, those in Foundation were not so fortunate. Unarmed men, women, and even children were made to feel Dirvanian's wrath. Walls can be rebuilt, but lives lost can never be reclaimed. My lord the Count knows this all too well. Fair enough. We gotta talk to everybody though. Oshfon. So, what do you think? Be honest, it's great, isn't it? So this is what the inside of the manor of the High House looks like. To think the Lord Oshfon was raised here. I thought there was a staircase in this room, but I guess there wasn't. I just came from the Resident Evil mansions, so I'm getting bad vibes from all these shields on the walls. Which one of you is the eternal living dead? Count Edmond. As I said before, my home is your home. After all you have done on our behalf, it is the least I can offer. Alphino, taking in the sights, has a mind to learn about Ishgard. Though our friends in House Fortom have been generous enough to extend us their protection, we must take care not to impose too much on their hospitality. It is only proper that we learn about our new home so we might become more self-sufficient. It'll take a while to learn the lay of the land, but learn it we must. Then there's the markets and taverns. We'll need to know where to shop and where to hear small talk. It would seem a tour of the city is indeed in order. I thank you for your counsel, my lord. My companions and I shall of course do as you suggest. Very good. Then my manservant shall accompany you. You will be able to answer any questions you might have. Non-comedy Frenchman. But I go forgetfully, my dotage. Is there something there is something I must give you a report. The documentation is in order, I trust? Yes, my lord. This is like a medieval England situation where the nobles all speak French and the locals speak English. Yes, please, this is a perfect shot. We've got passports? Brilliant. Those documents identify you as wards of Asfaltom. Given that our borders have remained closed for decades, many of my countrymen are unaccustomed to treating with foreigners. Should anyone happen to question your presence here, it may prove necessary to remind them that you remain under the protection of Asfaltom. But let us hope we shall not come to that. Rest assured, we shall do our utmost to avoid any situation which might compel us to invoke your name. It's gonna happen immediately. Putting my marker on it. Actually, I don't think it does, but... Erwin, Tataru, the city awaits. Let's go. Meow. Meow. Taking the cat for a walk. Once again, what we thought was a front door was not. Just like what just happened to me in Resident Evil, where we clearly had just entered the building, and yet it was not the front door that was in the gallery we were standing in. I confess it's been long been a dream of mine to visit Ishgard. To my childish self, her towers, bridges, and cobbled streets seemed akin to something from a fairy tale. I've never quite outgrown that fantasy. Yeah, it sure is Dark Souls in here. I talk about Dark Souls references, and just we're standing in Yharnam. Glad I have a map. This is cute. This game is cute, constantly. As this is your first time in our fair city, pray permit me to show you to the Hoplin, from whence, you don't need to say from whence, it's just whence. Whence we may gaze upon the splendor of the Holy Vault. Though all other sights pale in comparison, 'tis only me you see at first. I shall then show you around the jeweled crozier, where you may purchase all manner of goods and services before descending to Foundation's Aetheryte Plaza, if there are no questions. Let's go, buddy. I love that in this game, to be shown around is to wander from point to point with your guide teleporting. Look at you, colorful knights. Seems that dawn is coming to Ishgard. Coincidence that it should coincide with our coming to see the city. What have y'all got to say now? The Holy Vault, where Archbishop Thornton VII rules from on high. They're awfully fond of statues, aren't they? Hey, what if I took up sculpting? Bet you can make a fortune in a place like this, and we need every gil we can get. The Hoplin, so named for the bronze great shield borne by our nation's patron deity, is the largest plaza in Ishgard. The magnificent cathedral to the north is, of course, the Holy Vault. Thank you for defining Hoplin for us, by the way. I had no idea. Oh, those look terrible. The vault is both Ishgard's seat of government and the residence of the Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. Why are they so yellow? It just is bad. This is not great. Begging your pardon, the statue to the south. Statues to the south, are they perchance Thornton's famed Knights 12? Very good, Master Alphino. They are the fathers of Ishgard, the brave knights who joined with King Thornton I to put down Nidhogg and found this great nation. Ours is a city rich in history and tradition, and there is much you can learn by exploring the pillars. Time permitting, of course. Now then, if you would follow me to the jeweled croisier, I shall introduce you to Mistress Elais, our master of the markets. Our mistress of the markets, surely. It's kind of a nice fountain, very unambitious. Just pump it right up and none of this spurting action. Up and down. Where are we headed? Down there? There's a dramatic view. Surely, though, we could detonate those mountains so that we could see a little further. I guess you can see further, it's just too foggy to really do so. I don't know, is having close mountains... It's Front de Gloire. Up above, you find Saint Raymond's Cathedral in the Olivard. Près observe proper decorum should you wish to proceed. It's a good name. Powerful name. He must be of noble stock. French as he sounds. Where... Yeah, you just hop off? Yes! Hoppable ledges. Whole new world. Hey, everybody. Not a single scorched stone in sight. To watch these merchants going about their business, one would think the dragons had never attacked. If you want to buy something, let me do the talking. I could haggle for Ul'dah. Oh, all... Is she saying I could haggle all day? What does that mean? I could haggle for Ul'dah. That doesn't parse. I present to you Mistress Elais. Mayhap you'd like to say a few words. Nope. I just want to talk to Fremondin. Once I was head steward to Ishgard's finest house. Now I work as a shopkeep's assistant. Such is life, I suppose, and at least I still have the strength to toil. Poor comfort, though that is. You the same guy who was the steward back up at the Auchefort household? Elais. She's got a good face. Well, you're clearly not locals or traveling peddlers, which makes you all... Meow. Here's my passport. Ah, wards of House Fortom. How very interesting. Count Edmund has granted us leave to remain in Ishgard for as long as we wish, which may be some time. Called it, immediately evoking his name. Accordingly, we will have need of sundry goods, hence our desire to make your acquaintance. That is, of course, assuming you are content to accept the custom of foreigners, should you be uncomfortable. Young sir, we do not discriminate in matters of money. If you have coin to spend, who are we to refuse it? Weapons, armor, accoutrements, medicine, materials, whatever your desire, it can be found in the croisier. Our merchants will be more than happy to accommodate you, as you shall soon see. Our next destination is the Aetheryte Plaza and Foundation. If everyone is ready. Here are the three things that matter: transit, commerce, and the crown. Nothing else needs to be taken into account. Where are we going now? Foundation Aetheryte Plaza? I guess we could actually teleport to Aetheryte Plaza if we felt so inclined. That would be legit, because presumably we attuned ourselves on the way there. Take me on down. Whooshing. Hey, it's the boys. Oh, I've already attuned myself to Aetheryte. I trust you have as well. So other people can do that. Why didn't we escape Ul'dah that way? Do you ever get a funny tingling feeling when you attune to an Aetheryte, or is it just me? No? So it is just me. Here we have found Foundation's Aetheryte Plaza. If you've yet to attune to the Aetheryte, it would be wise to do so now, taking in the sights. The better half, your guide is eager to continue your tour of Ishgard. Going on 11. Work tomorrow. Blech. As for our next destination, mayhap we should decide together what else can be found nearby. The Skysteel Manufactory stands to the west. There our engineers conceive and manufacture weapons for use against the dragons. The holy stables where chocobos are trained for war also lie in that direction. Saying it with a straight fucking face. To the north and east can be found the congregation of our knights most heavenly, while to the south and east, well, it would be best if you avoided that area. That must be the machinists, right? Probably a lot of explosions. And why is that? I fear our knights may not be able to ensure your safety in the lowest levels, Master Alphino. Oh, he's talking about the broom, or whatever it is. Yep. Hold your nose when you pass the broom, little lord. A delicate little flower like you is like to wilt in our fumes. The hunch he assumed. You misjudge me, sir, for I am no lord but a humble traveler. Oh, come to see the sights, have you? Take a turn down the upland and gulp at the statues. If you've a mind to learn how to bath, live, come and have a drink at the Forgotten Nine. If you're this made a lay, My humblest apologies, Master Alphino. Pray that drunken lout no mind. Oh, but I must. It would not do to refuse such a heartfelt invitation. Yes, I simply must see this forgotten knight for myself. I trust you see the wisdom in this, Erwin. There are few sources of information more abundant than a bustling local hostelry. Not that I expect to hear any news of our missing comrades just yet. Nevertheless, who can say what we might learn of recent events? But I'm coming too. Yeah, Tannery's gonna set up shop over there, I think. Develop a habit. Bum, 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 bum. We speak with Gibrion in the Forgotten Night. I think we can just bounce up there. Isn't there an Etherite for an Ethernet? The Forgotten Night. Up straight on up. Here we are. Big, fancy, imposing. There's rooms built into that aqueduct looking, I guess it's a military fortification. If I were against a flying enemy, I might not build them that way myself. Is the Forgotten Night. We've found our way here. Emmerich. Not from Ishgard, are you? I'm from Ul'dah myself, just come up to serve House Forton. My name's Emmerich, lad, captain of Ocean's Raiders, the finest company of sellswords that ever lived. Yeah, I got a good feeling about this place. Mayhap one drink would be... No, I mustn't. You're a child, Alphino. Once more, I must urge you to reconsider. There are several gentlemen who would appear less than pleased by our presence. I don't care. Let me talk to the sort of indie folk guy. Must say, this is rather unusual. Not just one, but a whole party of fresh new faces in my tavern. We but recently arrived in Ishgard and are eager to acquaint ourselves with our more notable establishments, Master. Gibrion, just Gibrion will do, and I'm flattered you think so highly of my establishment. Can't promise it'll live up to your expectations, but if it's decent food and drink you're after, you could do much worse. Judging by the number of customers I see, I suspect your fare is rather more than decent. Speaking of your clientele, I could not help but note a difference between those who frequent the upper floors and lowers. Upper floors and lowers? How did my mind interpret that way? Also frequent, not frequent. Spotted that, did you? Aye, up here you'll find peddlers, porters, off-duty knights, and so forth, dropping in on their way to or from somewhere else. Regulars, maybe, but not locals. Folks from the Broom, they tend to congregate downstairs, where we offer a menu more suited to their tastes. Cheaper meals, stronger spirits, all quality mind, but not the sort of stuff I'd recommend to yourselves. You speak of the lowest levels, yes? Why do they call them the Broom, if I may ask? Because when the weather's foul and the broom rolls in thick, it's the poor sods living at the bottom who have to deal with it. I see. And it's not just the weather. When the wyverns broke through the wards and started tearing up the city, it was the broom that got the worst of it. while the pillars enjoy the protection of the high houses and the temple knights. Warn a few people are still sore about that mind, which is why, considering your present company, I'd recommend you keep your wits about you if you mean to go below, and something sharp in your boot, just to be sure. I shall take your words to heart, sir. Master Alphino, I think it would be best if we returned to Fortom Manor. You want to head without me? I'm staying for a drink or two. Miss Tataru, I'm afraid that is out of the question. My lord, the Count would never forgive me if I abandoned one of his charges in such a place, least of all a maiden. What are you up to, Tataru? Look around, Alphino. The tavern is full of people whose business regularly takes them beyond the gates of judgment. With friends like that, I could practically live here and wait for the newest gossip to come to me. Indeed, but will you be safe here on your own? Oh, please, you know how often I looked after the waking sands and rising stones by myself? If I had a gill for every unwelcome caller I've driven away, I'd be rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'll be fine. Not that I doubt the lady's knack for fending off unwanted advances, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let anyone lay an unwelcome hand on a patron in my establishment. That settles it then. Tataru, Erwin, and I shall return to the manor for now. Contact me by Link Pearl if you require assistance. I will. Good. We're getting our tendrils in the city. Bye! Tataru could do a convincing Kirby. Don't you worry, Erwin. If there's any news of our friends, I'll find it. Cool. Speak with Edmond in Fortom Manor. Well, I'll do just that then. Should we talk to all the large sons again? Is that? It is the smell of mead. Newly come and already sampling the delights of our taverns. Oh yes, I like you. I like you a lot. How do you find our city? Beautiful, is it not? Who are you, Honorable? Why are you so small? Pray do not concern yourself with me, sir. But you're small and suspicious. It is an honor to have you with us, Master Erwin. I assume the steward has the same dialogue. Greetings, Master Erwin. How may I be of assistance? Yep, just here to answer questions. Edmond, talk to me. Tell us then, Master Alphino, does Ishgard meet with your expectations? That which I imagined pales in comparison to the reality. I felt the weight of 1,000 years of history with every step I took. When those steps took me past the scars left by the Wyvern's Inn Foundation, I understood how easily that history could end in tragedy. The attack was devastating, the casualties unspeakable. The Wyverns did not discriminate. Unarmed men and women, even children, were given no quarter. Sir Emmerich has ordered his knights to strengthen our defenses, and each house has been called upon to lend what support it can. There's much to be done, yet alas, able-bodied men and women are in short supply. Mayhap we could be of assistance, my lord. After all you've done for us, we would welcome any opportunity to repay your kindness. I'm unraveling. Meow. That is the most generous offer, Master Alphino. Oh, he's verging into comedy. Gotta keep it under control. For guests in my home, to whom I have extended my hospitality without obligation, let all in. Nevertheless, Ishgard's need is great, and if you are willing to aid our cause, I cannot well refuse. Good. What would you ask of us? From what I've heard, you are an intelligent and persuasive young man. Such qualities may prove most useful to us in our efforts to secure provisions from foreign sources, identifying trustworthy suppliers, brokering contacts, and so on. That's what Alphino loves, is hammering out bargains. As for you, Master Erwin, I could ask for no one better than a storied veteran such as yourself, a man with the capacity to act swiftly and decisively when needed to aid Artorel and the Marlin in their duties. I beg your pardon. I am more than capable of carrying out my duty by myself. I have no need of our honored guest's assistance. Now, be reasonable, brother. What manner of fool would say no when a famous hero offered to do his work? I like the eyes there. Barely, almost missed it. or your tongues. By the fury, you two will conduct yourselves with dignity befitting your station and show Master Arwen the respect he deserves. This is the man who's to Gaius von Bearsar and some half-dozen primers besides. He's not here to steal your glory or serve as your errand boy. If you can pardon them their impropriety, Master Arwen, I should be much obliged if you would lend my sons a helping hand. My thanks. If you're willing, they may even learn something from you. Well. That's right, old man. Wander off. Yeah! Huh? They're doing the little Dark Souls emotes there. Ding dong! Alfino, mon frère. It would seem that we shall not want for employment over the coming days, though that was never in doubt. Our host's initial reluctance to accept our offer of aid was solely for appearance's sake. In truth, he is glad of his opportunity to put us to work. God damn it. By granting us patronage, House Fortom has taken on a tremendous risk. Until we demonstrate our worth to Ishgard at large, the Count will face considerable opposition from his peers in matters great and small. And so he would have us publicly serve Ishgard, while simultaneously keeping his sons in check. 'Tis an arrangement we may benefit from in unexpected ways. My own duties may feasibly bring me into contact with people who know something of our missing comrades. And as you go about helping our two lords with their various responsibilities, you will inevitably make new acquaintances in Ishgard, maybe even new allies. Yes, the more I think on it, the more confident I am that by furthering their goals, we shall further our own. The better half. We did it! Only like 106 quests to go, more than that, more like 124, something like that. Honor, please introduce yourself. Ah, Master Arwen. Lord Emmeline would like to speak. Emanalan would like to speak to you. Honored to have you with us. Wait, we got two different MSQs? Oh no, the indecision. There's the likable son and the dickish son. Let's do likable son first. Onwards and upwards. When a man like Lord Emmeline is in high spirits, you can be sure that trouble is in store. Shall we be off then, old boy? Ah, but where are my manners? Emmeline de Forton, second son of Count Edmond de Forton, trueborn, that is. Yes, I know what you're thinking, and you are absolutely right. What ill fortune to be born second in a society where the eldest inherits all. Oh, but my brother would never cut me off, 'tis true, but who could be satisfied, subsisting on a meager allowance forever overshadowed by his sibling? Not I, old boy, not I. Which is why I need your help to ensure that this business in the Sea of Clouds goes swimmingly, so that tales of my great deeds can win me a place in the people's hearts. Or better yet, raise me higher in their estimation than Atwarel. Ambitious, I grant you, but then I do have a legendary hero to do my bidding. Oh, don't look at me that way. I jest. Anyway, we are to aid the good men and women of our Salanat. They have ever been steadfast friends to our house, though they have fallen on hard times since the calamity, poor blighters. As for what precisely we'll be doing, well, what fun would it be if I told you everything in advance? Just come along with me to the airship landing. We'll need to take the airship to Camp Cloud Top. Camp Cloud Top. Show me to the clamps. So we actually had a choice of two different directions to go in this story. That's wild. I did not remember that from my first trip. So we could just teleport there, but actually I'm not sure we could. The quest might require that we take the conventional route. You know, conventional airship travel. Regular parties. Marijuana. Ségollion. Ça va? I can hardly believe it. House Forton granting patronage to a common sellsword. Should I chance to meet this ragamuffin, I shall say to him, good day. That's fine. I mean, honestly, this is a deeply inequitable society. They probably should be looking a little more into their own. Ah, my lord, there is still the matter of the bill. What's your deal, Honorwa, Emmanuel? Everything has been taken care of, old boy. Simply tell the attendant when you're ready to board and away we'll go. Yeah. Ready to depart, sir. The airship bound for Camp Cloudtop will be leaving shortly. Yeah, take us away. We're gonna get a dramatical visual introduction to the zone. So this is going to be the place where we are happiest so far that we can fucking fly. Because as the crow flies, distances here are not great. But as the wolf runs, they are often treks indeed. We aren't gonna put up with that bullshit.
On an airship,
Hey.
conceived within the fecund mind of Sid Garland, renegade prodigy of Garlemald, who had come to call Eorzea home.
This is just the Sky Netherlands. Peering
High
about.
into the heavens, where isles of earth and stone floated as clouds.
They're called Earth
A
modes.
frontier the knights of Ishgard had scarce begun to explore.
Really? Just, I guess they must have been newly created by the Calamity, right?
Within the sea of clouds, where careworn scouts ever scanned the skies for winged shadows, he came.
You could have just said they came, you know. Wouldn't have had to record two different lines, and, but anyway. It would have been better. So Sid is the father of airshippery, huh? That is a classic Final Fantasy type thing. Starting in 4? No, maybe, no, I think even in 2 there's a Sid who's an airship guy. My knowledge of 2 is a little hazy because of No Cat's relationship with it. If you don't know what that means, you should go listen to No Cat or watch that season because I believe it's publicly available now. Oh no, wow, what is your deal? Who are you? My lord, you mustn't wear your belt so loose or you'll trip over your own sword. You must be a squire. I'm on a lane. Awfully cold up here. I mean, Kurthis may not be blessed with the warmest weather in the world, but compared to this, it seems positively balmy. Of course, the hero is completely unperturbed. You don't have to maintain that strong silent persona all the time, you know. But you want to make me yell. Never mind. We need to find Lady Laniette. She's in charge of the garrison here. Oh, let me find her. Just follow my lead, yes? Excellent. Sure, boyo. I got no problem doing some fops work. It's not the worst thing I've been asked to do so far. Look at what a pleasure it is to just soar over these fucking gaps in the landscape. Look at this. Look at this maze of bridges. We're going to entirely hop over all of it and not lose a moment's sleep or recording time to it. Kelika. Laniette. Doom. Master Erwin, welcome. I'm Laniette Alinalt, commander of the forces stationed here at Camp Cloudtop. Strange though it may sound, I have long dreamed of meeting you. I'm in your debt, you see, and shall ever remain so. Were it not for you, my younger brother Francel would have been executed upon the word of a false inquisitor. Hey, Francel's sister. Alas, a knight must go where duty demands, and thus I've been unable to seek you out. But by the grace of Halone, I have been granted an opportunity to thank my brother's savior in person, and to call upon his generous aid besides. Truly, I know not what I've done to deserve this double blessing. As a good callback. The world is interconnected. People have relationships. 'Tis a pleasure to see you again, my Lady Laniette. You've got an elegant figure as always, a steel-clad rose, equally at home on a battlefield or in a ballroom. Boy trying to get his dick wet with everybody he meets. Lord Amanalen, if it is not too much to ask, I should be grateful if you would allow me to finish speaking with Master Erwin. Oh! Camp Cloudtop was established to provide early warning of impending Dravanian incursions. The high elevation afforded by the floating isles makes it ideal for this purpose. Naturally, it also makes it a target ready for attack. We are not defenseless, though. The Protector, our largest and most advanced warship, is capable of downing all but the mightiest dragons. Alas, as you may have noticed, it is currently undergoing repair. What is worse, our efforts have been hampered by an indigenous beast tribe known as the Vanu, with whom we have had several skirmishes already. No beast man is a match for man of Ishgard. Bring me a bird man and I'll show him a thing or two. I fear much and more may be asked of you in the days to come, Master Erwin. You gotta put up with this dingus. It's fine. I got high dingus resistance. Don't ask me to do any genocides. It kind of sounds like you're about to ask me to do a genocide. That's very much the policy down south, is just kill them all, and I guess around here it's let Haloni sort them out. My lord, pray do not do anything rash. Ah, my lovely Lady Laniette, I shall win your heart yet. You were flirting with me a second ago. You can't chill out just for a second? An indispensable ally, Lady Laniette knows all too well what must be done to ensure that your time spent in Camp Cloudtop is not for nothing. While I understand Count Edmund's intentions, I would rather not waste valuable time ensuring the young lord doesn't get trampled underfoot. True, it is entirely possible he may learn something from this experience, but if left to his own devices, I think it far more likely that he will make a mess of things. Tell him that I would like for him to keep watch for Dravanian outflyers. Then, when you have a moment to speak with his manservant in private, make it clear that it is his responsibility to keep him out of land from shirking his duty. Anything else to say? I must say, is it me or is the air here a bit, cold? Yes, it's called elevation, my boy. A request from Laniette. Why didn't she think to ask me in person? Surely she must see me standing here but a few yalms away. Oh, never mind, what is it? A mission of paramount importance. Keep watch for Dravanian outflyers. How is everyone gonna indicate that with just gestures? A mission? Yes, of course, that is why I'm here. I shall do as my lady asks. Very good, Honorwa. Master Erwin, I do not believe I've properly introduced myself. My name is Honorwa, and I serve at the pleasure of Lord de Monolin. Lady Laniette would have me accompany Lord de Monolin on his mission? I understand completely. I will do my utmost to keep him out of harm's way. Good lad. Were he of another house, mayhap I would not feel obligated to go to such lengths to preserve his safety and dignity. In any case, I appreciate you speaking to him for me. It would seem he actually listens to you, at least more so than others. Or mayhap you are more skilled at this than most. I suspect you've had to humor your fair share of difficult men before. Meeting the neighbors, Lady Laniette is eager to get to the more important business. Now that Monolin is out of harm's way, we are free to discuss matters of actual import, such as our struggles with the Vanu. We first encountered the Vanu several years ago when we'd just begun to explore the Sea of Clouds. After an exchange of pleasantries and gifts, we received permission to construct a permanent lookout post. There was peace between our peoples for half a year, until suddenly, for reasons unknown, their attitudes toward us changed. They began to attack our foraging parties without provocation, forcing us to rely more heavily on supplies flown in from Ishgard. Good old supplies again. But words are no substitute for first-hand experience. Go and see Sir Marielle. She could use your assistance. Let's find ourselves a Marielle. Oh wow. Directly into the sun. Very lovely. We're like over the cloud cover here, so is this really that useful, an outpost in that way? What's there to be found on this standalone spot? An exit to an adjoining area. How? Where to? Whoa, wait. What? Wait, what just happened? I guess we just walked back to Ishgard from... Okay, well, let's not examine that too much. I hope that the enemy never learns to use this back door into the heart of Ishgard. Where's our girl? Lady Marielle. I think that the Lord should refer to us as not Lord Erwin, but the Long Point. Master Erwin, I presume. Lady Laniette told me you were coming. I could tell you'd never faced a Vanu before. Well, spend enough time on patrol and you're sure to cross paths with them eventually. These birdmen are native to the Floating Isles. I say birdmen, but they're not at all like the Ixal, unless that Ixal's mother was a Gigas. Here, let me mark several locations on your map. you discover any Vanu in these areas, kill them or drive them away. So much for no genocide, huh? Magia, got anything else to say? For all I know, you may find nothing, so if so, let us consider it an auspicious omen. I wonder if we could find the little lord. You got anything else to say, Lanyet? While this posting may not afford the Rose Knights much glory, we are nevertheless responsible for the safety and security of Camp Cloudtop. Okay, let's see the zone a bit, why don't we? Destination. Get surveying. I hope none of the bird folks show up, because I don't really want to murder them. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. Oh, sense a hostile presence. Here's the bird folks. Vuknoi Gundu. And not Noi Gundu. Well, that did it. Keep watch for Vanu. Go to our macros real quick, because this should be 70, not 75. Damn it. No. What? No. Stop it. What are you doing? There we go. No. Dismounted. That's not what we needed. We needed to stay on that pony. This was truly a kingly gift that Rook extended to us in this fucked up creature. I do quite like it. What is there to see around here, apart from the general defiance of gravity? Should we fly up there and take a look at what the fuck's... You steel yourself for a mighty struggle, yet find no Vanu lying in wait. I bet it's higher than we can fly. Oh yeah, that's gonna be way higher than we can fly. I think? Unless this zone has an unusually high ceiling, which I guess it could. Wisn't heard. Oh, yeah. This zone just extends upwards in general. Well, we're gonna go over there then, because I want to see. So normally this would of course not be possible, because normally you can't fly in a zone until you've completed everything in that zone, which is maddening. We're really enjoying the fruits of our 50 bucks around here. So I'm quite sure that whatever is up here is not going to really be accessible to us until such time as we... Yeah, it's just going to be some quest-related stuff that we're not going to have any access to right now. Would be my guess. Oh no! Not limited on the up, but on the, not the y-axis, but the x. How could they do this to us? Put such a tantalizing spot just out of reach. Oh, cool, though. Consider the environment. It's not so big. You know, just a little county-sized region lifted off from the ground and suspended in the air. We must be very confident that this suspension is going to persist, right? I mean, I wouldn't be that inclined to build permanent structures on floating stones. They'd only begun floating 5 years ago. And maybe not in any circumstances, because how sure are you, you know? Anyway, be right back. Standing watch, a hostile presence again, more murdering of these innocent bird folks. At least it goes quick. We are a kindly executioner. Back to the lady. What a lovely time of day for it. Quite an incredible place to work, really. Terrifying though the prospect of it coming tumbling out of the sky is. Finished with your patrol? Anything to report? What if it does come falling out of the sky in the storyline, and if we turned off NG+, it would just disappear from under our feet and plummet us into the clouds? Meow. Meow. Maybe it was too much to hope for a day without a skirmish. At least I can take solace in the fact that Alonia has blessed us with a mighty ally. You know what? That's about an hour on the video. It's getting too late to really crawl any further. Let's call it there for now before we end up swept up in dramatical events that we want to continue. See you soon.